Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. And I am really quickly realizing that I have an echo here because I have the stream not muted. So good start, good start. But yeah, it looks like we are live. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We are here today to finish up a very cool project, the Nickelodeon AGGRO CRAG, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. A couple of things going on today. Regular viewers of my live stream may notice that we are not in my regular location. So we're actually coming to you today from my basement. So yeah, we're playing things on a little bit of a hard mode today. Because we're in my basement workshop and not my usual stream computer, everything, including lasers, cameras, and the microphone, are running off of a single laptop in addition to hosting the stream. So that's all to say. Also, there's a bit of a thunderstorm outside where we hopefully won't lose power. But all of that is to say, in case there are some technical difficulties today, unfortunately, YouTube does not allow me to resume the stream at the same link. But in case anything should crash, I will immediately go start a new event. And yeah, we'll basically resume it then at the following link, and I'll edit everything together into a final cohesive episode when I publish this also as a full replay post on my channel. So I see the chat is working. We have Angus, Plotry, and H7 Opolo in here already, and it looks like everything is good to go. So I guess, why don't we just dive right into it and see exactly what we're doing here today. And good morning to Jay Cabrera. Okay, so here's what's happening today. People who follow the channel, and you should subscribe if you have not, because we post a lot of fun DIY project videos. I know that about a week and a half ago, I uploaded a YouTube Shorts review for the KeyTech Q1 Pro, which is a brand new 3D printer from KeyTech that is a Core XY machine. It runs Clipper, allowing you to print insanely fast. And overall, it's a really, really fun machine that you should look at if you're interested in 3D printers. But as part of that, people that also regularly view my uploads know that while I do some project review or product reviews, I also like to have a mini project in every one of those product reviews, so that even if you're not interested maybe necessarily in purchasing that product, you can still watch the review, see a cool project being made, and learn something cool along the way. So as part of that stream, I decided that I wanted to build a replica prop of the AGGRO CRAG, which is the trophy from Global Guts, and that was a Nickelodeon TV show in the 90s that you may be familiar with. So these days, Nickelodeon is mostly known for, doing cartoons, mostly SpongeBob reruns, I think, at this point. But back in the day, in the 90s, man, it was a channel where if you were a kid growing up, like, you could see cartoons, you could see news, you could see variety shows. And one of the really cool things that Nickelodeon did is that they had a bunch of primetime game shows. So there was one game show called Nick Arcade, where basically it was a game show with like groups of kids where they played arcade games for points, and then they got sucked into some kind of 90s virtual reality environment for the final round. There's, of course, Legends of the Hidden Temple, which was like one of the most awesome Nickelodeon game shows where the kids had to run through this like ancient Mayan temple recreation, assemble props like the Shrine of the Silver Monkey and like an obstacle style course, and then maybe get taken away by some temple guards. And then finally, there was the show called Guts, or later on, it was called Global Guts. And this was essentially a sports competition show where three kids competed against each other. So it was kind of, I guess, if you also watched a lot of TV in the 80s, and I'm dating myself here, kind of like an American Gladiators for kids. And basically the way it went is that you would have these kids compete against each other on like sport events. So there were 4 main events where kids could gain points. And then the final event was an obstacle course where all the kids would race simultaneously, which was called the AGGRO CRAG. And the way it was set up, I think basically to keep things competitive, that even if you won none of the other events, if you ended up winning the AGGRO CRAG, you still ended up, winning the whole thing. Oh, right. And H7 Opola says, don't forget Double Dare. That's true. I did forget about Double Dare. But with the AGGRO CRAG, so once you won Global Guts, what you do is you got a medal. So I 3D printed this guy on the Q1 Pro. So that was kind of like the first thing that I printed. So you can see that guy here, looking pretty cool. So everybody got a medal. So either gold, silver, or bronze. But then the ultimate winner got a piece of, they called it the Radical Rock, which was the AGGRO CRAG trophy, where they could basically then take this home and I guess put it, on their shelf for bragging rights to all their friends, because like who wouldn't want to be on a Nickelodeon game show? So I printed this and it looks really awesome, but I did some kind of sleuthing online and I figured out that there was a piece that goes right here that was missing that would really bring this prop home. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be finishing up this prop using a variety of laser cutters supplied by Monport Laser. So both a 60-watt CO2 laser cutter as well as a 30-watt fiber laser. It's gonna, I think, look pretty awesome. I cut some test pieces already just to make sure that everything would fit before the stream. And everything seems to be going together. So let's get started. And I guess this is probably as good a time as any as to talk about our sponsor for this live stream, which is Monport Laser. So Monport Laser is a laser cutting company that I've partnered with over about 2 years now. So they make a variety of lasers, both for home use as well as for industrial use. And right now they are having a spring sale, which they call the Monport Easter Spectacular. So Monport in general always has really good sales, but in terms of like magnitude of sales, I think this is probably the biggest one that I've seen. So just looking at what you can get, they have machines up there that are up to $4,200 off. So if you're interested in buying an industrial laser, that's probably definitely the time to take a look if that's something that interests you. But even if you're not willing to spend, $4,000 on a laser and you're more interested in something for home use, if you place orders over $3,000, you immediately get $3,000 immediately gets $200 off. Orders over $5,000 get $500 off, and orders over $7,000 get $800 off. And I apologize, it's very small on my stream preview screen, so I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing it here with the resolution. But really, that's not the really cool thing about this sale. So the cool thing about this sale is that they are giving away basically a ton of free laser cutter accessories. So anybody that buys a fiber laser immediately gets a rotary axis for free. So a rotary axis allows you to do things like engrave tumblers and cool things like that. So that is usually valued at around $290. So that's just something you get for free. If instead you buy a CO2 laser between 55 and 105 watts, you get a copy of LightBurn for free. So that software license is $100, which is also definitely nothing to sneeze at. I'm going to turn my live stream monitor off here real quick, so it's not too distracting. And then the really cool thing is that, as always, of course, I have an affiliate coupon with Monport Laser where the code ALEX10 gets you 10% off. So that's regardless of whether or not this Easter sale is going on or not. That's always active. That helps to support this channel, which is great. But the cool thing about this Easter sale is that, one, all of the sales going on right now stack with the code ALEX10. So in addition to all these other sales that you get through Monport Laser, you get an additional 10% off. But the really, really cool thing is that after you make your purchase, what you can do is, and if you use my affiliate link by making this purchase, what you can do is you can email Monport Laser after the fact and say, hey, I made this purchase and I use the code ALEX10 by viewing this live stream. And that means that, if you buy a fiber laser and you already get a rotary axis for free, you will then also get a copy of LightBurn for fiber lasers for free. So that's another $150 value. And if you buy a CO2 laser where you already get LightBurn for free, you will also get a free rotary axis. So that's about another $200 value. So long and short of it is, if you're interested in buying a laser, either you've always had your eye on one, or maybe this live stream today is just making you so excited to, you know, purchase a unit, definitely use code Alex10 to get the end result being a free copy of LightBurn and a free rotary attachment, in addition to 10% off, and in addition to all the sales that are going on now. So really cool. You're going to see through this live stream that lasers are capable of doing some really awesome things. And it's definitely an awesome tool to have in your shop. So maybe something that you want to consider picking up. Okay, so with the sponsor, oh, I'm sorry, one more thing, I apologize. So the other cool thing is that anyone watching this stream today, if you email sales@monportlaser.com, you can get 10 free design files for your laser cutters. So they also have a marketplace for design files. You can just get 10 design files for free, which is super awesome. But, and maybe a lot of the reason why some of you are here, is we will also have 15 random winners for prizes that we are giving away through the stream today. So 10 of those people will win free material packs, so free acrylic material packs that you can use to laser cut your own projects. And then 5 viewers that are here today will be able to win an additional $100 gift card through Monport Laser, which you can then stack on top of all of these other sales. So, you know, you're going to be getting a lot of laser potentially for a little money through this Easter sale. And this Easter sale, just FYI, goes through April 1st at 7 a.m. Eastern time. So all the way through today, all the way through tomorrow, and then a bit also on Monday morning. I see we have Phil Correcker in the chat. I hope I'm saying that right. Hello, welcome. And yeah, so if you guys want to win any of these prizes, there is a link in the video description below to a Google spreadsheet. Please enter your name in that Google spreadsheet on a new row. And then after a couple of the laser cutting segments here today, we're going to be using the Wheel of Names website to give away some of those prizes. So if you want to win that prize, make sure to enter your name at the spreadsheet down below. We'll copy and paste those over when we're ready. And yeah, we're going to have some fun there as well. Alrighty, so now let's get a little bit more into the details of the project that we're doing here today. So if you look at the Global Guts trophy, what you'll notice is that in addition to kind of having this glowing piece of the radical rock, it also had a custom engraved name tag at the base. And this name tag was really cool. So it had basically the contestant's name in the top left corner. It said that they got first place, and then their point total down at the lower left corner. So you can get 1,925 points was the kind of perfect score. Then in the top right corner, it had the episode name, where it was filmed. In the actual one, it was Nickelodeon Studios, and then where it was filmed, which is in Orlando. So we're doing a nice little riff on that project. So where we're going to be using the laser cutter to cut the 2 different parts for this project. So one is we're going to be using a fiber laser to engrave a metal business card. And this metal business card will have the Global Guts logo. So this is really going to be kind of a fun way to show off how fast fiber lasers can engrave and what detail they can engrave with. And then we are going to be laser engraving the back plate out of plywood, but plywood actually that I spray painted gold with kind of super make something and stream specific information. And then at the very end, we're going to glue everything together and hopefully have our own twist on the super awesome Global Guts trophy. I see in the chat down below, is this an international giveaway? Yes, so all of the prizes are digital prizes. So when you are chosen and you win a prize, the way to claim that prize is to send an email to sales@monportlaser.com, and at that point what they will do is they will send you a coupon code that you can use at checkout, either for the free design files or for the free rotary axis, depending on what you win. So this is an international giveaway, so you know, if you're interested but you're not maybe based in the US, please stay tuned. All right, we have a question in the chat. DTG says, how thick can this thing cut? And yeah, I guess let's get into that a little bit now, because that answer is highly dependent on which laser you are using. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do today, excuse me, is we are going to be using a fiber laser to engrave the metal business card. And for fiber lasers are really meant for metal marking and metal engraving, or really engraving other types of things. So for example, they can also engrave things like slate coasters, and they can also engrave things, for example, like leather patches. But they're primarily made for engraving instead of cutting. So another kind of cool example of what it can engrave. If you're interested, for example, in making custom hats, so here's a leather patch that I engraved with the QR code that takes you to youtube.com/supermakesomething. So it's a really good way to make kind of fun accessories or custom gifts, or maybe if you want to start a small business, for example, a laser cutter is a great thing to have in your arsenal. But again, long and the short of it is that fiber lasers, for example, like this GP30 fiber laser that we have here, they are essentially made for engraving various types of material. And the way they work is that, unlike a CO2 laser, which has a big laser tube in the back, these lasers don't require any active cooling. So it's a fiber laser source that is passively cooled and air cooled. And because of that, they're kind of really easy to put in various places on your shop, and you don't really need a lot of accessories to run those lasers. So for example, if you have like a corner of the shop, you can put it there, and you don't need something like a water chiller or anything like that. So that also makes them very portable, which is nice. And also, this integrated unit from Monport, for being a fiber laser, is actually has a pretty small footprint, so it fits into your shop. The thing, though, that really makes these fiber lasers cool is that they are able to engrave insanely fast. And the reason they're able to engrave insanely fast, and you can see this here through the animation on the screen, is in the laser head. So the laser is generated at the base of the machine. It then travels through this fiber optic cable into the laser head, and inside the laser head, there is a set of what is called galvanometer scanners. And what these are is they're essentially mirrors on a motor that pivot around incredibly fast. And what they do is they reflect the laser light onto the surface that you're interested in cutting. And you can engrave at a speed of up to 10,000 millimeters per second. So unlike a CO2 laser, which sometimes maybe can be a bit slower, and we're going to get into that why a little bit later, these are insanely fast. So if you're doing any kind of large volume production or batch production, or you even just want to make a bunch of gifts all at once, like let's say it's the day before a major holiday and you forgot that you had to make gifts for everyone, their engraving speed allow you to basically just crank out parts, which is definitely an advantage to these lasers. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go ahead and engrave the first part of this project. And it will be very exciting. So I see we have some more people joining the chat now. So we have Nekohita Tenko. Hello, good to see you. We have Becky, who says that she just ordered a laser cutter and will be using this code on my order. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And we also have Pappy Totek. I hope I'm saying that right. Saying hello. So thank you all so much for stopping by. You are just in time to start to see some laser engraving action. Real quick, for those just joining, there is a link to a Google spreadsheet in the video description below. We're going to be giving away 10 free acrylic packs, courtesy of Monport Laser, and 5 $100 gift cards, also courtesy of Monport Laser, that you can use in addition to some of the Easter savings going on, and in addition to the Alex10 coupon code at checkout. To save some additional money and get some free accessories as well. Okay, so real quick, before we actually start lasing though, let's talk about the number one thing. So if you take away nothing else from the stream today, the one thing please that I'm asking you to keep in mind is that lasers can be incredibly dangerous. And you want to make sure that when you are using a laser, you always want to make sure to observe proper safety precautions. So unlike something, for example, like a 3D printer, you know, where you can burn yourself, or even a CNC machine where, you know, you can get your finger caught and it can also end badly for you. Lasers literally cut and engrave material using a beam that travels at the speed of light. So you might be Usain Bolt, you might be super fast, but with lasers, unfortunately, because of the way they travel or the way they work, by using light, you can get hurt before you even notice that anything is wrong. So the number one lesson that I hope that anybody viewing the stream takes from this is to always observe proper safety precautions. So number one is always wear your safety goggles. So these safety goggles here, they look kind of cool. I look like I'm, you know, ready to go to a rave. But these glasses are made to block out a specific wavelength of laser light. And that wavelength of laser light is different for fiber lasers and for CO2 lasers. So for fiber lasers, the wavelength is 1064 nanometers. And these glasses are specifically kind of designed in order to block out that light and protect your eyes. Number two, as you are engraving and cutting, you are literally vaporizing material that can travel into the air. Depending on what you are engraving or cutting, the fumes that can get off can get pretty nasty. So always make sure that you are using your laser in a well-ventilated area. And then additionally, what you might want to do also for additional safety precautions, I like to, for example, wear a mask just as a second layer of safety to make sure that anything that might have escaped from the laser gets filtered out. So real quick, what I'm going to show you guys is what my air evacuation setup looks like. So it doesn't have to be really anything fancy. Oh, and we see that there's a slight loose connection in my capture card, so apologize for that. But here we go. So I'm going to zoom in real quick. Oh. Okay, there we go. So what you can see is here, there is a comeback capture card. There we go. Okay, we're back. So what you see here is there is a large inline fan that basically sucks all of the air as it is engraving away from the working area. Through this hose, there is a secondary blower fan over there, and then it gets sucked out through a hole that I drilled to the side of my house outside of my basement, completely evacuating any kind of fumes or dust that may have been generated during the cutting operation. Similarly, for the CO2 laser, that is also connected to the outer vent here. And then on the left-hand side, so like right there, that is also an air purifier. So in case anything fume-wise were to happen to escape, that also gets sucked outside. But basically anything that I'm cutting and anything that I'm engraving gets sucked outside, helps to protect my lungs, because just like your eyes, you only get two of those. Finally, of course, when you're lasing something and you're burning something to cut it, there's always the risk of a fire. Always make sure to have a fire extinguisher nearby. You never know, you just want to be safe. So kind of the standard ABC fire extinguisher that you can get at your local hardware store is also a recommended accessory that I would say just in case anything were to ever happen. Okay, so now with safety out of the way, I'm going to very, very carefully move my camera back, and then we can start laser cutting. Okay, adjusting that guide, went up a little bit. Okay, and here we go. So apologize also, because we are in my basement today, everything is running off of a single camera setup. So that has to, that forces me to move the camera around a little bit. So I appreciate your patience during this live stream. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take a look at the project file. I am going to try to not turn on any of the exhaust fans until actually the moment where we are cutting, just because that can get a little bit loud and might be a little bit annoying on the stream. But when we do some cutting, you might hear some fan noises in the back. Again, just something to keep in mind. Okay, so let us go ahead and take a look at our project file. We are going to be opening up the LightBurn app. Boom. And here we are. So one of the cool things about Monport's lasers is that all of their machines, from the K40 to their big industrial machines, run LightBurn Laser. So LightBurn Laser has kind of become the default high quality laser engraving program that people use both for home, and it's also seeing increased use kind of in industrial settings. It's feature packed, and it has support for tons of lasers. So let's open up the first guy here, and we're going to open up the metal plaque raster, and we're going to change the device, which isn't automatically recognized right now because the laser isn't on, because again, I want to keep the fans off as long as possible. One thing that LightBurn's been doing is when you change lasers, it for some reason flips some things upside down. So at that point, you can just reopen it again. But okay, so here's the project file. And let's take a look at some of the details, excuse me, of what we're doing here. So this is the cut area. Here you can adjust your cut settings. So what you'll see here is that we're engraving at a speed of 500 millimeters per second, so half a meter per second, at only 30% power. And we can preview what this looks like. So we're going to be doing a raster engrave where we engrave an image. And let me move this over real quick. And it basically looks like this. So if we hit play, we can see it engraving. This is a playback speed at 40x. But if you take a look at the details of the job, this entire estimated time for this entire business card only takes 47 seconds. So again, a very, very, very quick way of engraving everything, which is really great. So the one key here is with fiber lasers also is that the trick, especially when you're cutting something, that can take up, for example, the entire workpiece, is alignment. But that's also where fiber lasers have an advantage, because not only do they have the cutting laser, they also have an additional laser, a red dot laser in the galvanometer scanners, or bouncing off the galvanometer scanners, that allows you to preview the outline of what you're going to cut, so it makes alignment super, super easy. Okay, so let's take a look now what that actually looks like. So I'm going to move everybody over again. Here. Might share point everybody down. And in the setup, what you will see, make things brighter, is that we have a metal business card lined up and ready to. And underneath, I have a piece of construction paper just to protect my work area from the laser light, because this is also black anodized, and sometimes if you cut a little bit over, you can end up marking your bed. Doesn't really matter, but just to keep things nice and clean, I like to keep kind of a protective sheet underneath what I'm cutting. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to turn on the laser. So you're going to hear a little bit of fan noise right now. I'm going to trip the e-stop. And you know what helps? It helps if I turn on the power strip. So let me go do that real quick. And here we go. Oop, there we go. So turns out that you need power to use lasers. Who knew? Alrighty. So with the power on, the first thing that you'll notice is that you see a little red dot. And one of the nice features about this is that this has an GP30 fiber laser has an electric focus, where you can use a button on the control panel, so just below the head, so right here. This button allows you to move the laser head up and down. So here's the laser head. And as I push that button, you can see it travel up and down. And the way you focus this laser is that, zooming in here, You want to make sure that the 3 dots that you see are perfectly aligned. So they are good to go. They are ready to go. Oh, okay, and we see that this laser is now focused. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that everything is aligned correctly. So what we're going to do in LightBurn is we're going to hit the frame button. And you can already see there, if I move this construction card, you can see that this is tracing the outline of the design that we're going to be cutting. So this allows us to very carefully adjust the position of the card to make sure that everything is nice and centered. So I played with this a little bit before the stream just to make sure that things would line up well. And that looks to be about good. And after this, really, it's as easy as starting up the laser and getting things to start engraving. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to turn on the fan. You guys are going to hear a bit of fan noise, again, because the laser is very fast. It should only last a couple seconds. So please bear with me. But let's get ready to do some laser cutting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first plug in the fans, and you're going to hear some noise. Ready? One moment, please. All right, here comes fan number 1. And here comes fan number 2. So a lot of background noise going on right now. Next, I'm going to put on my mask just to make sure that I don't breathe any of the fumes. And then the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my laser glasses on, and we're going to start the laser job. So I'm going to go back to LightBurn, hit start, and we should see some engraving. Here we go. And you see how absolutely fast this machine is. It is going at 500 millimeters per second. It is engraving the Global Guts logo, and the fan that is right next to the laser makes sure that any smoke generated by burning off that anodization layer is evacuated outside immediately. So it's already almost done, if you can believe it. Again, just a testament to how fast these lasers are. Boom, and it is already done. So real quick, let me go turn off those fans. 1 second. And I'm also going to turn off the laser cutter real quick. Okay, so that's it. That was the fiber laser operation. Again, just how fast this is able to engrave, and the results excuse me, the results are absolutely stunning. So let's zoom out a little bit and let's take a look at this card. I mean, that is a professional laser engrave if I ever saw one. So everything is beautifully rastered engraved. The Nickelodeon GUTS logo comes out nice and clean. And also, because of that red dot on the laser, everything is beautifully centered and just looks awesome. Wow, this is super impressive. So of course, again, you can do a variety of other things. You can engrave a variety of other things. You can engrave slate coasters. You can engrave leather patches. And you can engrave essentially pretty much everything except for wood, which is kind of the main motivation of using a CO2 laser. But overall, the results just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So real quickly, moving back over here. And moving my chair back. So great, great, great results. Super pleased with how that turned out. Let me turn the brightness on this camera down a little bit. The image isn't quite so blown out. There we go. And yeah, just wow. I mean, take a look at this quality of Laser Engrave. It is so crisp and so sharp. And even the test piece. So if I compare that to the test piece, so that was a raster engrave where we're engraving an image. Here is a vector engrave. So if we zoom in real close, you can see the fine detail of each of those lines. And that is really what makes a fiber laser special. So it is very fast. It can create super intricate details, and it allows you to essentially create permanent markings on various types of metal that create an overall very professional looking result. Okay, so very good. So part one of this project is looking good. Let us move on to part two. But before we do that, how about we give away some prizes? So again, please, if you have not yet done so, there is your last chance right now for this first round of giveaways where we're going to be giving away some material packs. Please enter your screen name in the Google spreadsheet link below. And I'm going to go over there now and just start pulling some of those names from that Google spreadsheet. Okay. And we already have some people in here. So what we're going to do is let's start by giving away 5. And then let's see where we're at. So what I'm going to do is after we give away those first 5, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go check to see what other names have been added to the spreadsheet. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay. So switching over to the wheel of names and to the desktop capture. I took the names. I'm going to paste them in here. And let's see. Flintley says that the link is not working anymore. Okay, if the link is not working for you, please let me know. Or Plotry, I think it is. I'm so sorry again. This is a bit small on my screen. What I will do is I will add your name manually. Plintry. Okay, and we're gonna start to give away 5 names. So on your mark, get set for the first spin. Here we go. Let's see who's gonna win the first prize. The first winner is Jay Cabrera. Congratulations. You are going to get a free acrylic laser material pack. To claim your prize, please email sales@monportlaser.com and tell them that you are the winner through the giveaway. Let's give away another one. So number 1, number 2, let's spin again. Second winner is Nerj. Congratulations. Again, please contact monportlaser.com in order to get a coupon code for your prize. Very cool. Spin number 3. Is Brian Russell. Congratulations, Brian. You also win a free material pack. Congratulations. We're going to go for spin number 4. Pappy Toak, congratulations. You are also a winner. And let's do one more spin here before we move on to the next part of the project. And it looks like the winner is going to be James Gross. So congratulations for those. I'm also seeing in the chat that some people are not able to enter their names. So if that is an issue that you are having, please let me know. And I will go ahead and add those manually. So we also have Phil Correcker, I believe. I will add you manually. And if anyone else is having any issues, please let me know, and I will add you. Okay. And you know what? That being said, why don't we give away 5 more? Let's give away 5 more while we're here. So again, if you're having any issues, please let me know. I'm going to add the other contestants here, and we're gonna spin again. All right, Brandon Husey, congratulations. You also win a free material pack from Monport Laser. I see that Chiton is also not able to enter his name. So we're going to add him manually. Okay, we're going to spin again. And here we go. And the winner here is Chetan. Congratulations. You win a free material gift pack. All right, I think we got 3 more. If that count is incorrect, please let me know, but I think it's 3 more. The next winner is Plintry. Congratulations. 2 more material pack winners to select from this list before we go on to the next part of the project. Dina Stengel, congratulations. You also win a free material pack. And now a giveaway for the final material pack winner is underway. And it looks like the final material pack winner will be Adam Bratcher. So congratulations, everyone, on winning a material pack. If you are one of the winners, please email sales@monportlaser.com. Let them know that you were one of the winners through this live stream. And at that point, they will send you a coupon code so that you're able to order your material pack from them for free. Excellent, excellent. So if you didn't win, no worries. Don't go away. There's another giveaway coming up after this next round. So definitely stay tuned. And with that being a good as intro as any, let's actually talk about the next portion of this project, which is laser engraving the name tag, the name plaque with the CO2 fiber lasers. Okay, so we saw previously that fiber laser, or I'm sorry, with the CO2 laser, not with the fiber laser. So we saw previously that fiber lasers are very, very good at engraving metal, and they're very good at engraving very, very quickly. Because of the way that the galvanometer scanner is set up, where the mirror basically has to bounce the laser light across the workpiece, the work area of those lasers is typically smaller, but that is where CO2 lasers come into play. So CO2 lasers are made to both cut and engrave organic material and acrylic. In addition to that, they are also able to be used to engrave anodized metal. So for example, if you happen to use code ALEX10 and you get a free rotary access with your order, you are able to do things like engrave tumblers, which is like, again, something really cool, maybe to sell on Etsy or to make a customized gift for someone. But compared to fiber lasers, CO2 lasers require active cooling. So they need a water chiller that's attached to the laser that always circles coolant through the cooling loop in order to keep the laser tube that is generating the CO2 laser beam cool from burning out. However, compared to fiber lasers, an advantage of CO2 lasers is the way that they reflect light around the work area. So instead of having a galvo head like you have in a fiber laser, a CO2 laser has the mirrors positioned on an XY gantry, and the gantry moves those mirrors around to bounce the light to wherever you want to cut. And because of that, the gantry is usually made out of like a stepper motor with a mirror mounted onto it and a large linear rail. That allows you to have a really, really large cutting area. So you're able to cut some really, really big pieces on a CO2 laser that you're not able to cut on a fiber laser. And an example of what you can cut, you can see in the GIF right here, and in this project right here. So this CO2 laser that we're going to be using here today was actually part of a larger project episode that we released a couple months back, where I designed a tabletop RPG map, so for tabletop role-playing games, for a game series that I came up with called Office Goons. So Office Goons is just a fun way to play a tabletop RPG or D&D style games in an office setting. Which is just kind of a fun twist, I think, because, you know, instead of having like these fantastical worlds, instead you're trying to do things like conquer mundane tasks in the office, like avoiding paperwork or trying not to fall asleep in meetings or anything like that. So it's a fun little twist. But the cool thing is that because of the large cutting area that my CO2 laser has, I was able to cut this gigantic wooden map out in a single shot over the course of 4 hours. And the reason why I did that is because traditionally tabletop RPG maps are drawn on paper. But, you know, us being working adults or having to go to school, it can be really difficult to squeeze in like a 3 or 4 hour gameplay session. But then, you know, if the map is made on paper, it's also very difficult to move player tokens. So by engraving the map onto a sheet of plywood, what I can do is one, I can engrave the map design directly onto the wood. So if there's any kind of spills or anything, you know, it's not going to ruin your game. But then also by using plywood, I was able to attach magnets to the board, which allows the player and the quest tokens to snap in place. And that makes it super easy to move. If you have to pause, for example, when it's time to go out to dinner, without risk of ruining your game. So this is kind of like a nice little test case of what you can do with a CO2 laser and why sometimes it might be good to have a large working area. Okay, so with that being said, let's now actually go ahead and start engraving the name tag. So one of the things that I told you guys in the original slide is that the Global Guts logo, and let me see if I have it here somewhere. Here it is. Had a gold nameplate that had the winner's name and the winner's points on it. So what I did is I took a piece of plywood and then I basically spray painted it gold to give a nice little gold effect. One other trick that I like to use for CO2 lasers is that if you cover the material that you're going to be engraving with a bit of masking tape, that tends to make the final end result a little bit cleaner because you're not going to get any of the soot that you might from your laser kind of anywhere else on the piece, and that keeps everything nice and crisp. And so what we're going to do is we're basically going to have a large gold piece that's already in the laser cutter right now in there, and we're going to engrave the name tag. So let's take a look at that here. Alrighty. Switch inputs real quick. Open up LightBurn Laser again. Okay. Going over to desktop capture. Alright, so here we are back in LightBurn. And I'm going to close this up. I'm going to open up my other project file. And we're going to call it the wood plaque raster. It looks like I forgot to install a font, and it also looks like I forgot to change the laser. Again, I need to manually change these because I want to avoid for the live stream to turn the fans on as late as possible, just because that you know, gets to be a little bit loud. So I'm just going to reload the project here. And zooming in, we can see that there's a couple of parts to this project. So one is it's going to cut the outer border, so that's going to be the final name tag. And then we're going to engrave it with the winner name, the first place, and 1925 points. Symbolic of the fact that it's been a perfectly smooth live stream and we're going to get a perfect score. We also have the episode number. So in my case, I called this episode number 007L because this is the 7th Super Make Something live stream that we're doing on my channel. It is filmed in Livestream Studios because Basement Studios sounded really creepy, so we're going to keep it as Livestream Studios. And of course, we're going to film it where? in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, where we're located. Okay, also taking a look at this job real quick, you'll notice that a couple of these elements are different colors. And these are basically how you group things together within LightBurn, where you can engrave text. So for example, you see here the speed is 50 millimeters per second at 20% power. That is typically used on my laser for an engraving operation when you don't want to cut all the way through. And then same thing for this left text. And then finally the cutout, you'll see that the cutting speed is both slower and the laser is stronger. And that is done in order to make sure that once we engrave everything, we cut it out. And also important note is that we do all the engraving first. And then once we've done all the engraving to make sure that everything stays lined up and was lined up, then we do that final cutting operation and we end up with a name tag. Checking the chat here, it says this H7O Polo says, did I detect sarcasm about the perfect stream? Nah, you would never hear me be sarcastic. No, I'm just kidding, of course. So, okay. So with that being said, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys and move the camera over to the CO2 laser. Very, very slowly. Again, to make sure we don't lose connection. Alright, that seems to be going well. And we're going to point you down at the laser bed. Okay, so a couple other things about this specific laser. So this is a 60-watt CO2 laser from Monport. Compared to other hobby lasers you might buy, where you have to add, for example, an air assist for flame suppression and maybe an exhaust fan yourself. This machine comes with all of those things already built in. So it's a great machine for a hobby workshop. It's got a work area that's 4 times the size of the one found on the K40, so 16 inches by 24 inches, which allows me to cut, relatively large things. It also, and this is really important for lasers, has an auto homing probe for focusing the laser to make sure that what you cut, always looks good and is always crisp and in focus. And it's got a bunch of other quality of life features. Like, for example, it has a material pass-through where if you want to engrave stuff off of a big sheet that you might get from a hardware store, you can basically pass that whole thing through and engrave with it, and it just looks awesome. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is, again, the fans are going to turn on. It's going to be a little bit loud. It's not going to be quite as loud as when we were fiber lasering, because we don't need to turn on the fan that's directly next to the microphone. But again, please, just something to be aware of. Let me go turn those fans on real quick. And then we can start with the engrave. All right, so let me plug everything back in and let me turn everything on. So, plugging that guy in. Also turning on my air filter and my cooling system. Okay, hold on, almost done with the fans. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to full screen mode and turn on the laser so you can see it operating in all of its glory. So here we go, I'm going to turn on the laser. We're going to see that it's going to home itself. And then we also are going to turn on the laser safety switch. And at that point, it's going to be moving over. Okay, and we have a question in the chat. It said, would an engraver be useful for rendering empty spaces of varying depth? So depending on the power of your laser, you are able to do what they call 2.5D engraving, and that basically causes the laser to engrave at various different depths by setting power. That is something that you would want to dial in pretty carefully, but theoretically, if you are, so I don't know very much about casting, but I guess if you are able to cast using a wood negative, then I guess that could work. Again, it might be very shallow, but yeah, something to keep in mind. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna position you guys a little bit more so the chat window isn't in the way. We're gonna zoom in a bit. And again, the first thing that we want to make sure of is we want to make sure that we're all lined up. So within LightBurn, we're going to hit the frame button. We're going to see where it's going to cut. So it's going to cut right there. That's looking pretty good. Next step, again, I need to put on my CO2 laser safety glasses and my mask. So mask first. That is going on right now. Air assist is already running. And laser glasses are on. And it looks like we are all set. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit the start button in LightBurn. And we should see the laser engraving in action. So here it goes. So of course, even though I said we were going to engrave first, it's of course cutting first. The reason for that being is I had the cut outline selected. Like I said, perfect live stream, no technical difficulties at all. But that shouldn't be an issue. So the honeycomb bed is, and the material is really thin, and the wood is really flat, so it should just be going in there without an issue. Okay, so that was the cut operation. And now let's do the engrave operation. So here and here, we're gonna hit play. And we're gonna start engraving. Okay, so as that's going, another question from chat. So this won't do beveled edges. So you could do something similar, maybe if you really dial it in, like a laser cutter where you do it in layers. You would really have to adjust your laser power like in a serial manner so that you make sure that you engrave a little bit on one layer, then go a little bit deeper, a little bit wild over. So you could kind of like fake it with a stair step. But again, it may be more trouble than it's worth using this laser. Again, unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with casting. But I mean, I imagine it could be done to some varying degrees. Okay, so the engraving is going great. Because of the air assist system, again, the smell here is relatively mild, which is again good. So that means everything is working. The fan in the back of the laser is actually also very powerful, which is great. But yeah, so what you'll notice is, again, compared to a fiber laser, the cutting operation that you have is much slower. But the materials that you're able to engrave and cut are a little bit more diverse. And then you also have a larger work area. So both the fiber laser and the CO2 laser kind of really have their optimal applications. And ultimately, you know, the one that you decide to purchase is really going to depend on the type of work that you're interested in doing. Okay. All right, we have finished the engraving the first part. We are now engraving the second part. All righty. All right, so Rusted Friend just commented that he has done a 2.5D bevel engrave. It works in a pinch, but generally he'd rather just use a router after the fact. So that's also another good point, actually. So anything that you cut on the laser, you can post-process, right? You can still drill into it. You could use a router. You could use hand tools. Technically, if you have a CNC machine, you could, post-process on that as well if that's something you needed to do for some reason. So definitely a laser, shouldn't be considered like a one-catch do-all machine. A laser, like any other tool, is just that, right? It's a tool that you have at your disposal in order to do the work that you're trying to do kind of in the most efficient way possible. So, yeah, thank you so much, Rusted Friend. I really appreciate that.
Okay, and that's the end of the engrave. So real quick, let me go turn off the fans again to get the noise level down a little bit. 1 second.
What we're gonna do is we're now going to open up the laser enclosure, take off my mask and my safety glasses, and let's open up and see what it looks like. All right. Oh yeah, baby, a perfect engrave. Let's move you guys back over here and let's take the masking tape off, and let's see what that looks like. Moving everybody back. Right. Oh. Looks like we lost the capture card, but we are back. Zoom back out. See. Aha. Awesome. All right. That seemed to have worked pretty well. Okay, so now, like I said, typically a trick is to have a layer of masking tape on what you're trying to engrave. Let us do a live online peel. Maybe some light ASMR action. Now the noise gate on my microphone is too high. Sorry, that's not gonna work. All right, so let me take this off. That's coming off beautifully. So you can see here, as we peel. This is pretty funny. So even there, you can see like the incredible detail, like of that lettering. Like there's just tiny spaces in between those letters, and it just perfectly engraved all of those like it's not a problem. So again, quality wise, these laser cutters, I've used a few in the past, both at work and at makerspaces. In terms of quality of machines that you get, especially for the price, Monport laser for me has been unbeatable. I think even if this wasn't a sponsored event, I would still say that, because I think honestly, genuinely, that they're a really good purchase, especially for, you know, anything that you might be interested in doing creatively. Okay, and here's the final result in beautiful gold. Oh my god, that looks amazing. Wow. Okay, so final step is we're going to take this fiber engraved card, we're going to tape it on this wood spray painted to look like gold name tag, and then we're gonna mount everything on the AGGRO CRAG. So the way that I have found is the best way to do this is to just use double-sided tape, honestly. So because everything is nice and flat, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the double-sided tape here on the back like this. We're going to then take another piece of tape just to make sure it's really on there. And we're going to carefully align it. So let's see if I can do this on camera while holding it. Make sure that logo is not upside down. Want to make sure that that's nice and centered. Let's see. Just like that. Okay. All right. Looking legit. Here we go. And now let us take the final assembly step here. I will take the AGGRO CRAG top off. So inside, real quick, it's hollow in case you wanted to add like a little bit of LEDs to make it glow, or like a battery pack. That's something we're not going to be doing on the stream today because this filament is already pretty neon as it is. But something you could do if you wanted to have your own AGGRO CRAG. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some more tape and tape all the things together. So there and there. One thing I noticed, actually, my CO2 laser is still running. I can still hear the fan. Let me turn that off just to get rid of a little bit more of the fan noise in case that's coming through on the microphone. Okay, the moment of tape. Here we go. I found that the best way to attach 3D prints to other things is through hot glue. But I figured that was an extra complication today on our tool that we didn't need, so we're just taping everything. Oh, this looks awesome! Oh my goodness! Wow! And let's put this together with the AGGRO CRAG. And let me drop the AGGRO CRAG. Oh, this looks amazing. Oh my goodness. I can't get over how good this looks. This looks perfect. Exactly what I wanted out of this project. The metal fiber laser portion of this really brings it home. Everything is crisp and clear and detailed and looks like gold and just fits perfectly. And wow. Okay. This is definitely something that you will see on the shelf behind me in future project videos and that I post on this channel. So definitely be definitely be excited for what that looks like. So I have a request in the chat. Let's compare what that looks like with the official AGGRO CRAG. And let's do that real quick. So I'm gonna go back to the project details slide. So you can see that AGGRO CRAG here up top. Dare I say the one that we made here looks a little nicer. I'm gonna say when it comes to making something green slime colored, we might have Nickelodeon beat on this one. Oh wow, this looks amazing. I am so pleased. Pair this with the Global Guts metal, which I think I might as well also just spray paint gold, seeing how well this worked. Just to put everything together. Wow, I am so excited about the way that it works. Definitely scored a perfect score today in our Global Guts prop making replica project. And just incredible. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so before we wrap up here today, let's do another giveaway. I know that there were some issues some people were having in the chat to add their names. So let me go real quick and change that or add those people manually. Oh wow, this turned out so good. This looks so good. Wow, this is amazing. Okay, let me see who we don't have here right now. I'm gonna open up a second window. And let's see where we are. So we have people. So it says Phil Correct. Okay, Chetan was in, Phil Correcker was in, CRM Tesh. Let me add you. CRM Tesh. And then let's see. MSO hit. Again, if you would like to please be included in this giveaway, let me know in the chat. If you were unable to enter your name on the spreadsheet. Liptan is also okay. Very good, very good. So real quick, so this gift card or this giveaway that we're going to be doing is for 5 $100 gift cards that you can use in addition to the Alex10 code to get free LightBurn and free rotary accessories and 10% off, in addition to all the spring sale stuff that's going on. So if you're interested in buying a laser and want to win a $100 gift card to make the price of a laser from Monport even lower, let me know, because we're going to start drawing names here in just a hot second. Give everybody maybe another couple of seconds to enter if they want to. I guess while we're waiting, if anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat. And let's see. Let's see if we get any more entrants. Okay, I think that covers all of them. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back to the wheel of names, and I'm gonna go and copy everybody over real quick before I switch inputs here. Gonna copy. Okay, and now we're gonna switch back to the desktop capture. Very, very good. Okay, so we're gonna put everyone back in the drawing whose name was on the spreadsheet. We have 18 entrants. And again, this is for one of 5 $100 gift cards for Monport Laser. So on your mark, get set, spin. And the first winner of the $100 gift card is MSO Hit. Congratulations, congratulations. Again, for any winners that win here today, please contact sales@monportlaser.com to let them know that you were one of the winners of this live stream. They will then email you a coupon code that you can use at checkout to either get the material pack for free if you were one of those 10 winners, or in order to get the $100 gift card that you can use for a laser purchase. Okay. So first winner of the $100 gift card, MSO Hit. Fantastic. We're spinning again. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Woo! Jay Cabrera cleaning up today, winning both a material gift card and a $100 gift card. Congratulations. Today is your lucky day. Fantastic. Spinning again for winner number 3. Looks like the third winner will be Michael Oliver of the $100 Monport gift card. Congratulations, that is fantastic. 2 more winners to go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Looks like Sagan Gottberg is another winner of the $100 gift card. Congratulations, amazing, amazing. And then let's do a final spin. Here we go. The final winner is... Congratulations! Also a double winner today for both the material pack and the $100 gift card. Congratulations to all the winners. It's a fantastic, fantastic way to get into laser, and I hope that you guys put these coupon codes and these winnings to good use. If you guys end up making anything with those, please tag me on social media. I'm basically Super Make Something Anywhere, and I would love to see what you guys come up with. Okay, so to recap, what did we do here today? Woo! We have made arguably a better version of the original Nickelodeon AGGRO CRAG trophy using a CO2 laser and a fiber laser. Results just look amazing. Just blown away by how well these project files turned out, and really a testament to how good Monport's machines are. Again, I think even if this wasn't sponsored, both from a price and quality perspective, Monport would definitely be on the top of my list to put in my shop. One reason, of course, being that if you're even interested in just doing entry-level laser cutting, the K40 that they sell is one of the only lasers on the market that is able to run LightBurn. So you get all of the advantages of LightBurn, even for entry-level laser cutters, that lets you jump into the hobby and really start crafting. So a quick recap, again, also of what's going on at Monport right now. So Monport has their ongoing Easter sale, and that runs through April 1st at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. In addition to having machines up to $4,200 off, basically the more you order, the more you save. So if you order over $3,000, you get $200 off. Orders over $5,000 get $200 or $500 off, and orders over $7,000 get $800 off. Anybody that buys a fiber laser during this sale, regardless of whether or not you're watching this live stream, which I think you will, because you're gonna, or you should have, because one, we did something awesome, but two, there's also additional benefits, is that anyone who buys a fiber laser or a CO2 laser with these specifications during the sale gets either a free rotary axis or a free copy of LightBurn. However, after you make that purchase, if you then email sales@monportlaser.com, and if you use code ALEX10 to make those purchases and say that you saw this live stream, you then also get the additional either rotary axis or LightBurn copy for free. So people that viewed this live stream, use code ALEX10 and make a purchase are able to get both LightBurn for free and a rotary axis for free. In addition to that, you will get 10% off of your purchase while supporting this channel, which is always appreciated. And of course, that ALEX10 code is always active, so not just during this Easter sale, but certainly if you were to use it during this Easter sale, you would get both free accessories and you would get a ton of other discounts as well. So real quick, let's pop real quickly back into the chat here to answer some more questions. Broke Daddy Gamer said, just found your channel and I'm building an arcade monstrosity and your new DDR pad has inspired me to restart my project. Thanks. Can't wait till the next installment. Yes. So ongoing on the Super Make Something channel is, if you're new here and this is your first time that you're tuning in, this channel is all about making DIY projects that teach you stuff about 3D printing and electronics and engineering and robotics. And my latest project is an update to a project that I did a couple years back. And this project revolves around creating an arcade accurate replica of a Dance Dance Revolution gamepad. So the one that I built a couple years ago was made out of wood and used an Arduino and some DIY aluminum foil sensors for the button contacts. But kind of as I've been getting more into Dance Dance Revolution again over time after taking a bit of a break, I really wanted an arcade-like setup in my house. But of course, buying an arcade machine for like $8,000 to $15,000 is out of my price range, so I figured that I could just build my own pad. And this pad will be feature-packed, so it will be compatible both for Dance Dance Revolution and Pump It Up builds. So you will have both 4-panel and 5-panel options. You will be able to use both arcade sensors that you can buy online, as well as force-sensitive resistors that are used by, they're called stamina players, for really, really sensitive buttons that, you know, allow you to kind of do small movements and still press those buttons. That pad will support both, and it will be made almost entirely out of aluminum extrusion and 3D printed parts. So the idea being that anyone with just kind of the smallest amounts of hand tools will be able to build this arcade accurate replica themselves at home. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please tune in. There's a couple of preview episodes right now via YouTube Shorts. I'm also releasing progress update on the project in parts before releasing the final video. And then ultimately, when that whole build is complete, I will be releasing all of the design files and all of the code for that project for free, so that anyone who's interested in building their own Dance Dance Revolution pad can do so and hopefully learn a little bit of something about programming, electronics, 3D printing, and engineering along the way. So overall, that about wraps it up for this live stream. Again, sponsored by Monport Laser. Please check them out through April 1st for some incredible Easter deals where you can use the affiliate code ALEX10 at checkout in order to get some extra accessories. Again, details of that will be below. Both if you are interested in making a purchase and then want to get your free LightBurn license or rotary accessory, please use code ALEX10, and please also let them know that you viewed this live stream. Please, all of the winners and all of the coupon users, email sales@monportlaser.com. If you didn't win, you can also still get 10 free design files from Monport Laser by emailing sales@monportlaser.com. Again, they will give you a coupon code just to be able to purchase those as well. But overall, that's really all I have to say. So again, thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. I am just, again, super excited with how this project turned out. And yeah, I guess with all that being said, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much again for everybody that watched. And hopefully we'll see you on YouTube and on the internet soon. And then in the meantime, thanks for watching. Now go super make something.